If you are 60 to 75 years old, don't want to end up in a miserable old age? Prepare these 20 things in advance. As Confucius said, do not worry about having no position, worry about having no ability to stand. Do not worry about not being known, seek to be known. This means that instead of worrying about having no status, we should be concerned about our ability to establish ourselves. Old age should be a time of peace and happiness, but in reality, many elderly people face various difficulties and challenges. How can we avoid a tragic old age? How can we prepare in advance? These are issues that everyone should pay attention to. Today, we share 20 specific and practical suggestions for friends aged 60 to 75. From financial planning and health management to family relationships, these tips will help you prepare for the future and lay a more solid foundation for your old age. 1. Saving enough retirement money is crucial. Saving enough money for retirement is really important. Don't think that you won't need money when you get older. That kind of thinking is wrong. Consider this: if you're not in good health and need someone to take care of you, it can be very expensive. If you have to ask your children for money, they may not be able to give it. Without enough funds to hire a caregiver, your old age could be quite bleak. So, while you can still earn money, save as much as possible to prepare for the future. 2. Don't worry too much about your children. It's best not to worry too much about your children's affairs, nor should you interfere too much. If something goes wrong, they may blame you. We should learn to play dumb and say less, taking things lightly. This is the right approach. 3. Help your children moderately. When you see your children encountering financial difficulties, it's right to lend a hand, but don't end up risking your entire fortune. Otherwise, when their money runs out, they might not even say thank you and could end up dragging you down instead. This isn't to scare you, such situations are quite common, so be careful. 4. Don't expect filial piety from your children. As you get older, stop expecting your children to be understanding and filial. In their hearts, their own children will always be the most important. This is inevitable, and you must accept it. If you keep thinking this way, you are only setting yourself up for unhappiness. 5. Do not depend on your grandchildren. Don't always think that the grandchildren you raised from childhood will remain close to you as they grow up. You need to understand that they may not even be as close to their parents, let alone you. Many elderly people complain that the grandchildren they worked hard to raise fly away after growing up and hardly call throughout the year, let alone visit during holidays with gifts. This is, in fact, a reflection of how relationships have become more distant in modern society. 6. Helping with household chores might not earn you gratitude. Your children have started families of their own and have their own little homes. You may feel sorry for them because they're busy with work and can't manage their homes, so you want to help clean up. However, your good intentions may not always be appreciated. Often, you may be busy helping, and they might not even say thank you, thinking you are meddling. In this case, not only do you not receive praise, but you also end up feeling unappreciated. 7. Keep control of your retirement money. Never easily hand over your retirement money to your children to manage. Once you do, it's likely that the money will never come back, like a meat bun thrown to a dog, gone forever. Unless it's absolutely necessary, you should keep your money in your own hands for peace of mind. This is a form of self-protection and ensures future security. 8. Don't sell your house on impulse. Never impulsively sell your house thinking that you'll rely on your children for retirement. Try living together for a long time and see how that goes. You need to understand that your home is always their home, but their home may not have a place for you. If you're thinking of selling your house to live with your children, think it through carefully. 9. Balance when taking care of grandchildren. If you have your own grandchildren to care for, don't meddle with your other grandchildren, otherwise, your daughter-in-law may not be happy about it. This could be something she remembers for a lifetime. We need to pay attention to family matters and avoid inadvertently causing conflicts. A harmonious family is essential. 10. don't overestimate the concern from nieces and nephews. Don't always think that your nieces and nephews will naturally be close to you. Even if you treat them well, when you grow old and can't do much, will they still treat you the same way? It's uncertain. Affection is not solely maintained by blood ties, it requires mutual understanding and care. Therefore, don't just expect them to treat you well, you also need to take the initiative to chat with them and show interest in their lives. 11. Don't overestimate your son's authority. Don't always think of your son as the big boss of the family, who makes all the decisions. In fact, at home, he still has to consider his wife's feelings. His words may carry little weight, and he doesn't control the finances. Family matters are not solely decided by him. 12. Take charge of your health. As you age, your body is more prone to problems like high blood pressure and high cholesterol. At this time, don't solely rely on doctors. Health is something you need to be proactive about. When doctors prescribe medication, it's essential to take it, but relying only on medication isn't enough. You need to pay attention to your lifestyle and take good care of yourself to keep your body healthier. 13. Don't reveal how much money you have. In old age, it's best not to tell your children how much money you have. If they keep this money in mind, it could lead to significant trouble and constant unease. Therefore, you should keep this secret to yourself and avoid creating unnecessary discomfort. 14. Start saving for retirement early. If you reach old age without a pension or savings, you'll likely have to depend on your children, which can be uncomfortable. Therefore, before turning 65, aim to save at least $300,000 for your retirement so that you have a cushion and don't have to constantly depend on others. 15. Carefully consider living with your children. Just because you have a good relationship with your daughter-in-law or son-in-law doesn't mean you should impulsively move in with them. If you do, you might find yourself being resented within 3 months. So, think carefully before making such a decision. 16. Avoid enabling your children's dependency. Be mindful not to give your children money without principles, thinking it's okay for them to be dependent on you. If this continues, and you don't encourage them to learn independence, they may face hardship when you're no longer around. So, help your children become self-sufficient as soon as possible, this is what truly benefits them. 17. Don't overestimate your importance in your children's lives. Don't assume that you hold a significant place in your children's hearts. If you don't have any special status or identity, then age, status, and position are just numbers with little practical value. Children often care more about their own children than about us older folks, which is entirely normal. Don't take it to heart or feel sad. 18. Plan ahead for long-term bedridden situations. In the twilight years of life, as time accumulates, if you face a long-term bedridden situation, your children may eventually show signs of fatigue and impatience from prolonged caregiving, similar to the neglect seen from caregivers of long-term patients. Thus, we need to adopt a proactive mindset and prepare for the worst-case scenarios, planning ahead to cope with possible difficulties. Such measures not only demonstrate responsibility for your old age but also ensure family harmony. 19. Maintain hobbies to avoid boredom. In old age, don't constantly find excuses to do nothing. When people become idle, they tend to overthink, which can lead to health issues. So, find things you enjoy doing, such as gardening, raising fish, practicing calligraphy, playing chess, taking photos, painting, reading, or learning to make paper cuts. There's bound to be something that suits your taste, making your old age enjoyable. Never let yourself become bored and idle. 20. Reduce long-distance travel and prioritize safety. As we age, don't always think about traveling far away. Long distances can be unsafe. Taking a stroll nearby to enjoy the scenery can be both safe and comfortable. Therefore, it's better for seniors to minimize long-distance trips and enjoy more outings close to home, which will also boost your mood and comfort. If you don't want to end up in a miserable old age, prepare these 20 things in advance between the ages of 60 to 75. Conclusion. The quality of life in old age largely depends on the choices and preparations made in youth. As Confucius said, to do a good job, one must first sharpen their tools. By planning ahead, we can better handle the various challenges of life in our old age. These 20 pieces of advice not only serve as a guarantee for the future but also represent a responsibility toward our own lives and families.